Hello, Lincoln families. I'm really excited to chat with you this week a little bit about arts here in our community. About 2 weeks ago, we had the opportunity to see the exhibits for our IB art and our IB film students. And I'd like to introduce you to three of our seniors today. We have the fortunate opportunity to get to meet them, hear a little bit about their projects, and a little bit about the impact of their experiences. So can you start by just sharing a little bit about, introduce who you are, what was your engagement with the exhibitions?
So my name is Dina and I take DP Art, and I had to set up the exhibition and to present my work across the 2 years of art.
My name is Belen. I take both DP Art and IB Film, and I had to, as well as Dina, create an exhibition and show it off to the IB, as well as create a bunch of different films to be able to present to the IB, both through the process portfolio and also the collaborative film project.
And I'm Oli, and I'm an IB film student. And for the exhibition, I had to present my final HL 7-minute film, which was the culmination of over a year and a half of developing film skills, as well as shorter projects that we had worked on over the course of the year.
Listening to you just now, I heard you guys use words like DP and IB, and I know that, knowing our listeners are coming in from some of our elementary and middle school, as well as those who are really familiar. Can you tell me a little bit about about what IB means and what does it mean that you're in a 2-year class? Can you explain that kind of concept
Absolutely.
to us?
So basically the IB is an international baccalaureate. So basically it's a diploma you get after your senior year. It's a course that takes over 2 years. So basically from the start of 11th grade all the way to the end of 12th grade, where you're able to choose different courses like maths, English, different languages, sciences, and the arts, obviously, where you're given the freedom to choose the subjects that you want to learn specifically. Yeah. And with those, you're able to take these exams by the end of the senior year that can later give you a bunch of benefits in terms of colleges and opportunities for your future, pretty much. And personally, my experience is I'm someone who's very into the arts. So I was granted the opportunity of being able to take both visual art and film. And with that, I was able to really expand my artistic knowledge over the past couple of years and be able to apply that hopefully for what I'm going to be studying for my future, which is illustration.
Oh, wow. So putting it together a little bit for yourself as well.
Pretty much.
Listening to you talk about the choices you made as artist, the strategies that you used, your own learning journey, and making that commitment over the course of 2 years, which is the first time in your educational career that you have that long-term sort of academic experience. What was it that really you felt shifted, Dina, for you? What was that how was that experience?
I think that working on something for so long helps you be more dedicated to what you're working on. Some of my projects took months and some took weeks, depending on the side of the project. So my last project was a table that I made from scratch with the metal and the wood. I carved it, I assembled it all together, and it took a really long time, and I had to work with other people as well. While some other projects took shorter because they were maybe skills that I already had, so I didn't have to spend that much time working on things from scratch like I have from the table.
Was that something you knew how to do, how to make a table?
No, I didn't.
How did you figure that out?
Well, I had the idea and I knew that I wanted to do it, and I knew that I had to do it for my portfolio, not only for the IB but also for college, because I want to study product design. So it would help me show my universities what I know how to do and what I want to do. So with the inspiration and with the really dedication that I wanted to give to the projects, I was able to do it even though I didn't know how to.
It's really interesting because you talked about kind of the success you had in the design process, and I also was thinking a little bit about some of the challenges that you guys experienced as well. I wonder if one of you wanted to speak a little bit about that.
Well, I personally had a very close scenario to that. I was working on a sculpture that took me months because I'm just not as familiar with ceramics in comparison to other art mediums that I've practiced with. And unfortunately, I had the misfortune of it breaking the day I had to present it to my teacher. And because of that, I had to kind of like think in the moment and think to myself, okay, what do I do with this? Like, do I reassemble it completely, or do I just completely discard it and start from scratch? And I decided, like, I'm a very determined person when it comes to my projects. So I told myself, I'm going to just reassemble it and I'm going to get it done for the IB. I'm going to have it finished for the exhibition. And thankfully I succeeded, and you're able to see it in my final exhibition. And I'm very proud of how it turned out. And it taught me a lot in terms of like being able to work in like very sudden moments and like kind of have to come up with something on the spot pretty much.
Yeah.
But it really teaches you how to move forward with these challenges, both in visual art and film.
And I was thinking a little bit like, Ali, you had mentioned 7 minutes, right? Like that you had a 7-minute film at the end. And I imagine that wasn't your first product that you did over the course of 2 years.
It wasn't.
Yeah. Talk me through a little bit about your journey and about maybe building on Belu, and like, what were those things you learned, either through the challenges, through the opportunities? What were the things that you think you're going to take with you beyond these past 2 years?
Well, like I just mentioned, the 7-minute film was our final film production project. And what I mean by that is the last thing we did regarding actually filming and producing movies. And it really was the culmination of a year and a half of developing skills and overcoming challenges and obstacles. And I think in the exhibition, it was really clear how far all of us had come over that journey. And it's a combination like of a bunch of skills that all come in harmony into one final project. And I think the most important skill that became more robust over the course of that year and a half was collaboration. Because, and this is especially true for the 7-minute film, everything in those 7 minutes has to be original.
Yeah.
The music, any sound effects, of course, the writing, the cinematography, everything has to be like made by the people on that team. And so in the course of the shorter projects, where perhaps we could take in some music from the internet, or maybe we could steal a line of dialogue from another movie as inspiration, that wasn't an option for the 7-minute film. And so over the course of the year and a half, learning how to do sound design, edit, how to be a part of other people's films by acting in them, learning to write, learning to shoot, and learning how to operate cameras. All of this are the skills that ultimately became what the 7-minute film was, which was a wholly original product that could only be achieved after so much effort.
Yeah. And you create this experience for the viewer, but like all these choices that you went in to kind of create that and being so much more intentional. I heard, Dina, you said that you're interested in product design and that you're looking at illustration. Tell me, how is the past 2 years working in film going to carry forward for you?
Well, I'm now going to go off to Madrid to study international relations, but in the future, beyond that, I would really like to master in film.
Okay.
And that's not something I had really thought of doing seriously before taking this IB film course, but it's extremely rewarding to put so much time and effort and sink so much of yourself into a creative project like film, and it's beyond rewarding in the end. And that feeling is one that I would want to chase further into my higher education.
It's really interesting. And I think, like you said, that collaboration piece, like I didn't lose sight of that and how that's going to be really meaningful, we know, for any of you, moving forward. So I think about like our parents of our K4 learners who come and kind of see their art on display all the time. It's a huge part of learning in K4. And appreciating their music and appreciating the ways that they engage with artistic expression. Maybe as we close our conversation today, tell me, what do you think what makes a Lincoln artist?
I think the biggest thing about it is being able to balance your academic life and artistic life, and just the time management and how much time you dedicate to learning for your IB subjects if you take IB, and then how much you have to actually spend time working on your art. I know that since I'm a very dedicated student for my academics, I had to spend a lot of lunches and breaks in the art room working on my artworks because I didn't have time outside of school because I was studying.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part.
I think you weren't alone there. I think there were a lot of art students up there with you trying to get ready for that. Yeah.
Myself included, definitely. I think when it comes to a Lincoln artist, the best way to describe it is someone who's persevering, someone who's determined to share their artistic philosophy, their view of the world through their work. Either it be like through visual art or through film. It shows perspective. It shows what we view of the world as students, either individually or in collaboration, as in the 7-minute film project. And I feel like being able to share these perspectives adds so much to learning towards other things, pretty much. People gain new perspectives, gain new ideas through these artworks. And with that, they open their mind much more. And I feel like a Lincoln artist is an attempt at doing that very much.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. And I think, in short, what defines a Lincoln artist is a harmony between discipline and curiosity.
Oh.
So the discipline to keep going and keep being curious, even when challenges that seem insurmountable, like a sculpture breaking, present themselves. And the curiosity to keep wanting to push boundaries and to keep learning, even beyond the classroom, like for myself, to keep watching new movies and to keep up to date with all the new discussions regarding film. And so yeah, I would say that it's the ability to keep pushing forward and to keep wanting to learn more.
Really appreciate this time with you guys, and I think that you've spoken so well to the balance of just talent, like getting a chance to show and build that skill, like the technical skill behind that as well, and the opportunity to express and to make statements, right? So thanks so much for joining me and being a part of this conversation. And we look forward to continuing to find ways that we can all make art together.
Thank you for interviewing us.
Thanks so much, Lincoln family. Have a great weekend. Bye.